Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome to Come Grow Spiritually with me. I am Pamela of Unimend, and I come on every day and use this channel to share either some Reiki with you or my spiritual journey. So, I'm not a guru. I am simply a girl who's done a lot of healing, who worked in social work through mental health and special education and helped other people on their healing paths, who recently opened up and for the first time in my life actually surrendered and embraced my spirituality, because it's always been there. As early as I look back into my childhood, I can remember there being that tug, that curiosity, that connection to energy, those psychic gifts where I'm claircognizant. I have claircognizance is what I meant to say. Anyways, so about 2 years ago, due to an injury, a brain injury, I fully surrendered. I felt like I had no other choice. And my life was burning down around me at the same time as well. And I now chase spirituality every single day. So today we're going to dive into a little bit about numerology, right, which is the spiritual science of numbers, and explore how these divine codes can help you understand at your soul's level. Again, I have next to zero information about numerology, okay? This is just surface level. It's just very basic from the information that I have done recently. So today we're going to talk about the unique energetic blueprints that are made up through key numbers, right? So we're going to talk about your life path number. We're going to talk about your destiny, or what is also sometimes referred to as your expression number. We're going to talk about your soul urge number, and we're going to talk about the number of your personal year, which has to do with the current year, and we run through 9 cycles, right? Year 1, year 2, year 3, and they all represent something different. So today, I'm going to tell you how these numbers, these pathways, these blueprints form a sacred map that are guiding you towards your purpose, growth, and alignment. So we're going to talk about what each one is. I'm going to explain to you how you can find your numbers for yourself. And then I'm going to share what my results are. I'm not going to go through them all because that would take a very long time. So I'm going to tell you how to do it, and then encourage you to go and seek out the information on what your life path number means, or your destiny, or your soul urge. So let's get into it. Okay, we're going to start with your life path number. This is like your soul's GPS, and it reveals the lessons that you've come here to learn, the challenges and the purposes that you are meant to experience in this lifetime. Now, the way you calculate it is by adding up your full birth date and then reducing it to a single digit, unless it's a master number. So master numbers are 11, 22, and 33. So what you're going to do is, if your birthday is the month of May, you're going to say 5 plus, say it's 23, you're going to go 2 plus 3. And then you're going to take your birth year and break it down to single digits. So if it's 2014, if your birthday is May 23rd, 2014, you're going to go 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 1 plus 4. And you're going to get that total. It's obviously going to be a double digit number. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take that double digit and break them down. So if it's 34, you're going to go 3 plus 4 equals 7. And whatever that final single digit is, that is your life path number. So a Google search, an AI search, or if you're old school like me, you can refer to books that talk about numerology that will give you the breakdowns of what each life path number represents. I'm a 7. So I'm going to share with you what the life path 7 means. Okay, so life path 7s are spiritual scientists. They crave meaning, depth, and understanding, and are constantly asking questions like, why am I here? Why is that the case? What is the lesson here? They're introspective, they're intuitive, and they're analytical. They see beyond surface appearance and are drawn to uncovering truth, whether that's through spirituality, psychology, healing, or studying. But the path of a 7 is also of solitude. 7s need time alone to process, reflect, and connect to the divine. Their greatest growth happens when they learn to trust both their intuition and their intellect, realizing that wisdom isn't found in the noise of the world, it's found in stillness. When balanced, Life Path 7 becomes a teacher of truth, guiding others to look inward and remember their connection to Source. So just briefly, this 100% is fitting for me. Just this brief little summary. I am constantly seeking to understand, to know, to learn, to grow. I'm very introspective. I'm always going back and reflecting. I'm very intuitive, but I'm also very analytical. You hear me talk about having to find that balance between my logical mind and my intuition all the time. I don't just take this is the answer because I said so. I want to understand how that became the answer, why you think that's the answer, what's the purpose of this. I need to understand. And I have this desire and this compulsion to research and find out and learn and figure it out. But I also very much need time alone. And definitely when I'm working through and processing things or moving through challenges or like my bigger life lessons, I isolate. I need that time by myself. I need to shut out the noise of everything else and be able to sift through all the information I have through my logical mind and the research and the facts, but also to find a way to blend that with what I know intuitively. And now that I'm in alignment, and I've always felt this drive to share. I've always felt this drive to share what I know. I now feel like I am stepping into that role of teacher, where I get to share my experience in hopes of helping others to guide and go in their own journey to look inward and find that connection to Source and their healing. Okay, so let's move on. Next, we're going to talk about what the destiny number or expression number is. So it can be referred in either way. Your destiny or your expression number shows how your soul wants to express itself in this lifetime. This was very eye-opening for me. It's found by converting each letter of your full birth name into numbers. And I will put the chart with the numbers in the description so that you have a reference if you choose to check out your own destiny or expression number. And what you do is you write out your full birth date on your birth certificate. So first, middle, last name. And then you're going to use the chart, and each number or each letter has a number assigned to it. And what you're going to do is you're going to add up all those numbers. So you're going to do your first name and you're going to break it down to a single digit. Then you're going to do your middle name and you're going to add it all together and then again break it down to a single digit, and then your last name. And then you're going to take those single digits, you're going to add them together, and then you're going to break them down to a single digit. So, for example, my full birth name is Pamela. So when I add it all up, it's 21, and then I broke that down to 2 + 1 = 3. And then I did the same for my middle names. I have 2, and then I did my last name. Same thing. And then I took those numbers, those 4 numbers that I had, those 4 single digits, I added them together, and then again, I broke them down into a single digit, and my result is 3. So a destiny or expression 3 is said to be the creative communicator. The number 3 carries the energy of creativity, communication, and joy. It's the artist, the storyteller, and the inspirer. So where my life path 7 wants me to dive deep into truth, my destiny expression 3 wants me to express that truth. It wants me to share that truth with others through writing, words, teaching, creative energies. Expression 3 is said to be the number of light and color, bringing wisdom to life in ways that uplift others. My expression 3 helps balance my introspective nature, reminding me that knowledge isn't meant to be hidden, but it's meant to be shared with heart and authenticity. And I gotta tell you, it's so fitting. And when I didn't know about expression numbers, I hadn't come across that before. I knew about life path numbers, but I had never come across the destiny expression number before. And it was like, oh, it makes sense. This urge I have, this drive that I have to show up every day and share my knowledge. And I have been doing this for years. More recently, I'm doing it here on this channel, but I have been doing this for years through social media, through, teaching and guiding other people, through sharing my experience with others, and what I've learned and what I know. Like, I've always had this draw, this compulsion almost, to share what I've learned. And it totally makes sense. All right, now we're going to talk about what a soul urge number is. And again, this was something totally new to me. I had no idea. Your soul urge number is sometimes referred to as your heart's desire. It is going to reveal what your soul longs for most. And the way you find it is by adding only the vowels in your full birth name. Apparently, vowels carry the breath, the spirit, and your inner voice. So again, you're going to go back to what you did for your desire number, and you're just going to select your vowels. And you're going to add up your vowels till they're single digits. And then you're going to add those single digits for each name. So like my full name, my middle names, and then my last name. And then you add those 4 single digits up together until you get a single digit. And mine is a 7. Okay, a soul urge number 7 is said to be the spiritual heart of the seeker. At the very core, the hearts of 7s yearn for understanding and divine connection. They crave truth, depth, and solitude that allow them to connect with something greater than themselves. They find fulfillment in reflection, spiritual study, and meaningful one-on-one connections, not surface level interactions. The soul 7 urge desires to know, and not just through books and research alone, but through experience, meditation, and direct communication with spirit. It's about finding peace in the mystery of life and learning to trust your own intuition as sacred truth. So, again, this is right on par for me. And listen, let me know in the comments if you do this for yourself, because I will be shocked if anybody does this and goes, oh, this doesn't feel right for me. Because anybody that I have done this with, and I have been with other people who I've done the life path with that were teaching me. But generally, most people walk away and go, oh my God, it explains so much. So let me know. Again, this explains me, right? I don't do small talk. I hate small talk. I just can't engage in it. If I'm not having deep, meaningful conversations, I don't want to have conversations at all. It's been something that I struggled with throughout my life. But it makes sense now, right? Because I'm craving that deep, meaningful one-on-one connection. And if I can't have it, then I'm not interested in having connection, if that makes sense. And learning through books alone has never been enough for me. I've always wanted to experience or learn from other people's experiences. I'm a great listener. I love to sit and allow people to share their experience with me, should they choose to or want to. And oftentimes I don't ask, okay? I am that person that can bump into somebody at a grocery store and randomly, for whatever reason, they can share some deeply personal experience with me. And I allow them, and I just listen, and I make space for them. It's part of who I am. It's my nature. All right, so let's discuss what your personal year number is. This changes annually, and it represents the energetic theme that you will be living through during that calendar year. And again, there's 9 of them. We start at 1 and we cycle through to 9, and then the cycle starts all over again. So the way you calculate it is by adding your birth month to your birthday to the current year. So if I'm May 23rd, I'm going to go 5 plus 2 plus 3 plus 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 5, because we're in the year 2025. So when I add up my personal year, I get a 7 again. The personal year 7 is said to be the year of reflection and spiritual growth. And boy, I gotta tell you, we're moving into the 11th month of this year next week. That's 100% entirely what this year has been for me. So, a year 7 is a mirror. It is a year of deep inner work, rest, and recalibration. And it's not about outward success, and it's solely focused on spiritual alignment. During a year 7, the universe is asking you to pause, to reflect, and to trust in divine timing. It is a sacred year to retreat, heal, and refine your purpose before stepping into the next cycle of expansion. And I gotta tell you, once again, no surprise, although I'm always somewhat surprised, this is exactly true for my life and the experience that I have had over this year. Now, when I combine all this information together, right? So I'm a life path 7, I'm a soul urge 7, and this is also a personal year of 7. So I got the 777 here, which is not lost on me, with the expression 3. Okay? So 3 7s and a 3. Here are the themes that emerge with this combination together. The 7s represent wisdom, spiritual awakening, and introspection. My soul came here to explore truth, to heal through understanding, and to help others reconnect to their inner light and their own healing. The 3 expression balances that depth with joyful expression, turning my insight into creative teaching, storytelling, and healing energy that others can feel or relate to. Together, these tell a story of me being a spiritual teacher, a communicator, and a healer. Someone meant to transform pain into wisdom and to share it with love, clarity, and compassion. I couldn't have summed up who I am or what I think my purpose is any better than that. I simply want to share the knowledge that I have and my experience in a way that people can see and feel, and that they can understand in simple terms, and that they can then take for themselves and have it inspire them to find their own inner healing and inner light. All right, we're going to close this up today. So if you're curious about your own numerology chart, which obviously I think you might be if this video found you, because again, I don't believe there's any coincidences. I look at coincidences as synchronicities, as signs from the universe to be like, yep, this is meant for you. So just you stumbling upon this video is source saying, do it. Explore. So go ahead. You're likely going to discover that the things you've always been drawn to, your passions, your struggles, your intuition, have always been a part of your soul's design. It's been there all along. Because when you understand your numbers, you understand your energy. And when you understand your energy, you begin to live in alignment with your truth. It's going back to that blueprint that you came here with from the moment of your birth. And knowing that blueprint and understanding it will help you understand yourself and help you understand why you may have certain struggles or why you feel drawn or compelled to do something that may not make sense any other reasoning, where you can't logically understand, like, why do I feel compelled to share my story? This puts me in a very vulnerable position to be out here sharing myself openly and expressing to you all. It's not an easy thing to do. But I feel this compulsion, I feel compelled. But now that I understand that it's part of my expression design, it's part of my blueprint, it's part of the reason and purpose that I came to live this lifetime, it helps me understand me better. And that's really what this is. Numerology, and it's all just to help you understand, right? It's information that you can use to help you understand, to help guide you, to help direct you maybe. It's just simply another tool to understanding you. And when you understand yourself and you love yourself and you open yourself and you honor yourself, you become free. All right, friends, that is it for me today. I so thank you for those of you that watch and share my videos and comments. I so appreciate. Please go ahead and let me know. If you go ahead and you figure out any of your life path or your soul urge number, go ahead and share with me in the comments what that is. And if you've looked it up, give me a little summary of what it is. Because again, I stopped my research today on just focusing on what is impactful to me, because I'm not here to teach other people about their life path or things like that. So I didn't dive into that information. So I would love to learn from you, what is your life path or your expression or your soul urge number, and what does it mean if it's different from mine? All right, friends, I'm wishing you a very blessed day. Namaste, friends.